Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 6/3/2023. In this, tardy police verification nips Kashmiri aspirations. See guys, in Kashmir, when anyone wants to get government jobs, when they want to get passports and all, normally the police will try to verify their family backgrounds. And if anyone in the family has some separatist leanings, that means if anyone in the family supports separatism, then they are not able to get job opportunities, passports easily. This is what they are trying to tell us. Fine. So this has led to some new type of problems, is what they tell. But guys, obviously, you think, how can someone send a person from a family where there is separatist leanings? The police officials will be conscious. The world will also be conscious in giving them. This is where they have to understand. Coming out clean on these issues are very, very essential. And they are telling that it has to be faster. Yes, corruption and other issues will be there which may make it slower, but the most important part here is when we look at outside world, forget about India. When we look at outside world, the passports and then visa processing and all, these all will be issues if the family has separatist leanings. So there are certain people in Kashmir who are aspirations and they want to grow. Unfortunately, because of few people who are into separatist things, the entire families are suffering. So this should ensure that whatever step they take, that would have greater impact not only on them but also on their extended families. Eight parties write to Prime Minister against use of agencies for political witch hunt. See guys, Manish Sisodia is being arrested. Because of this, the other political parties, they have written that if Deputy Chief Minister is arrested, then you may arrest others also. So that should not happen. Yes, it's been 8 years that the government has been formed. And now if you say political witch hunt, it doesn't mean any sense. Right? So here the biggest thing that one should realize is, if at all the agencies are putting false allegations on anyone, then it has to be completely removed. But if there is no false allegations on any individual, but if there is some corruption involved and if they are probing it, it's not wrong, right? Indian man urinates on co-traveler on New Air Delhi flight. I don't know what has happened to people. Adani Project is like a government to government deal, says Sri Lankan foreign minister. See guys, Sri Lankan foreign minister is here and they are talking about the projects that are being given for wind power projects, seaports and airports to Adani Group. So the newspaper, when it is asking, is it Adani's project safe in Sri Lanka? For this, the Sri Lanka has told we are not worried because it is a government to government project, and in that project, Adani Group has been selected. Now I'll tell you this way: Chinese investments in Sri Lanka doesn't mean Chinese government will come and invest. It is a Chinese company which will be investing in Sri Lanka. India is investing in Maldives in Greater Malay Connectivity Project, and that project is being given to Mumbai based company. So government of India will identify it and it will tell this will be the company which will invest in your company. What's wrong in that? Right? So, guys, you should be aware when one country invests in another country, doesn't mean it is that particular country PSUs, public sector undertakings, will go and invest. It will be identified and promoted by one country. Now, if you take United States of America, what US will do? US will send a company to invest in India, but the deal will happen between US and India. So earlier there was a time when Prime Minister goes, always there used to be army heads going along with them. But today, not only India, even if other country politicians come to India, they come with business people and they say that we are interested to invest in your country and please invest in our country. So today it is more economic relations through these business people. Because this is a very big issue in Tamil Nadu, guys. What is happening in Tamil Nadu? Because of the talks that are going on, some DMK political parties have criticized Hindi speaking people as Pani Puri Walas and all, and that had led to some fear where they have felt that they might be beaten and they are leaving. The governor of Tamil Nadu is requesting, everyone is requesting that this will not happen. Please stay back because migrant laborers, if they move out, the economy of any state will collapse. Regulators' proposal on Rajasthan power lines flouts Supreme Court orders, threatens bustard. See, guys, near Rajasthan and Gujarat, one of the most important thing that we normally observe is solar energy. Because of this solar energy, the electricity that is produced will be connected to a grid. What is a grid? The lines. You will have the electric lines, right, which move from one place to another place. That is called grid. So now you see, I have solar energy produced and I need to transport it to another area. So when I'm transporting it to another area, right, what is going to happen? That will carry lot of electric current, correct? When it is carrying lot of electric current, when bastards sit on them, there is high possibility that they will be electrolocated, fine, which is going to kill many bastards. Great Indian bustard is already endangered, where almost 140 species are left. We have not taken any measures to increase the numbers of Great Indian bustard. It is critically endangered. Now, if you have electric lines of high voltage passing through this, then there is high possibility that it may threaten and kill Great Indian bustard. Fine, that can be a question, guys. You must be ready for that. Utilizing India's moment under the diplomatic sun. Yes, this is a very good article, one positive article from Happy Mon Jacob, where he is trying to say the merits and demerits of G20 happening in India, guys. Fine. I just want you to write the points. I'll explain them when I'm dictating. You write G20 Summit hyphen India. India is hosting. India is hosting G20 Summit, comma Quad Summit, Quad Summit, Voice of Global South Summit, Voice of Global South Summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Next point, you write India is acting as India is acting as a bridge between global north and global south. Full stop. Global north, global north is dominated by western countries. Global south is dominated by global south is dominated by India, China, and other countries. Next point. Even though India is not part of India is not part of UN Security Council, comma, India's position in G20 and other organizations will support India will support India in UNSC as well. Next, guys. Yeah. Attack on knowledge. The non-governmental sector should not be dragged into legal quagmire. Yes, recently Government of India suspended FCRA license to premier think tank CPR. See guys, Indian government has not told that no one from India should take money from other countries. Correct? What it is telling is some companies or some institutions are prohibited from taking funds from outside. Now, this will not be done without some intelligence information. There may be some issues where they might have observed some patterns. Based on that, the government will tell funds to this particular think tank should be stopped. And see, guys, CPR is not a think tank of Congress. It is not a think tank of any political party. It is think tank which is actually giving its own reports. But in case if the government feels there is some sort of misuse by outside agencies, normally what happens, Chinese, Americans, Europeans, they fund and they try to tell, I need articles in this manner. Let's say, like, there is a company in India. Now, that company will pay Hindu newspaper that I want you to give a report in your newspaper saying that, let us say, in and around Hyderabad is developing. There is huge opportunity for real estate. People are really benefiting because of this. In that manner, they would give an ad. That ad is not in the form of advertisements, but in the form of an article. In the newspaper, in one article, they will try to tell, in this area, people are investing and they are getting benefited. That is paid news. That can happen. And everyone does it. So now, when they go for paid news, what is going to happen? People will try to believe it. Similarly, no one will be willing to give you money. You tell me, I be willing to give to Hindu newspaper simply money? No. I will have an agenda of mine. Similarly, other countries, if they are investing in India in a knowledge platform, then definitely there will be some agenda of their own. And we would have got some intelligence information about this. Based on that, the government would have acted. If government says no one should take money from outside, then it is against their right to speech. But this is not against right to speech. Fine? So please try to get the difference, guys. Libya's outlook remains bleak. So guys, it's been 12 years that Muammar Gaddafi was removed and Libya entered into democracy. We are hoping that, Libya will actually see a stable democracy. But 12 years is too less to comment about it. They're trying their level best. Yeah. See, guys, away from the spotlight basically means without the news agencies like Hindu knowing it, India has met Global Intelligence Chiefs Conference, guys. It's a very big news, you see. See, terrorism, radicalization, drug trafficking, all these informations, the IB, RAW will be knowing. Now, India, along with other countries, we are having meetings. We will have some agreements so that the information we have, they will provide. We will provide to them. Whatever they have, they will provide to us. So we both will sit and try to ensure that, there is some sort of progress in the talks and we can catch the people effectively. Nations secure pact to protect marine life in the high seas. See, guys, if you consider this is India till 200 nautical miles from here will be called exclusive economic zone, guys. Beyond this will be called as high seas. Recently, in the Biodiversity Summit, the world has agreed for 30 by 30. That means 30% of land and water resources will be conserved by 2030 is what the plan was. 30% of land and water must be conserved by 2030. Now, not only the countries, even the high seas they are looking after. And for this, see guys, for this you have UNCLOS, United Nation Convention on Law of Sea. But there is nothing for high seas. We do not have any organization to deal with high seas. One organization is there called International Seabed Authority, and it will look after seabed, guys. Seabed means bottom, but it will not look into the biodiversity. So to protect the high seas, they want to come up with a new organization. So it's a very big news. They have not yet named it. They want to name an organization which will take care of the high seas. And these high seas are approximately 40% of the Earth's surface. So it's very, very important for us. We are not panicking about the Adani projects in Sri Lanka. Because he has spoken a lot about India, Sri Lanka, China, and all. But the newspaper is interested only in the Adani group. All these are political issues, guys. That's why I'm not reading it out for you. Tamil Nadu governor urges migrant workers not to feel insecure. Is in Indian society, when they talk about unity and diversity, you can give these type of examples. Guidelines for UIDF likely to be released by March end. Urban Infrastructure Development Fund for Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. How the money should be used, what all should be done. It will come by March end, guys. We will read at that time. But you must be knowing about that. Yes, China has given its own budget in which it is planning to give 7.2% to defense. China is spending a lot regularly on defense, guys, and it feels it is the way to counter US. Yeah. See, guys, in between India and Sri Lanka, we have Park Strait. In this Park Strait region, lot of fishes are there, guys. Huge number of fishes are present in this particular region. Now, Tamil fishermen, Tamil fishermen from India, they try to come and take fishes in this region. Sometimes they enter into this region also and they try to take fishes. So if I take Sri Lanka like this, and if this is the border, Indian fishermen enter into this region and try to take the fishes. And most importantly, now guys, if this is the water, our fishermen go for bottom trawling. See guys, normally if you catch fish, you will put the fish here, correct? But the fishermen will put the fishes in the mesh and drag this. Now when they are dragging it, let me assume this is coral reef. And when the boat drags it, this net will hit it and break the corals, and the entire corals will be damaged. It's a very big threat for us. I hope you understand. Now, if coral reefs are damaged, fishes will die. Sri Lanka has complained about this in United Nations as well. Fine. Indian fishermen regularly enter into Sri Lankan water and they create trouble there. So, India and Sri Lanka are in talks. Indian government has told that please give license to our fishermen so that they can also come and do fishing in your territory, so that illegal fishing will be reduced. Because giving license means Indian fishermen has to buy licenses, which will be very costly, but that will ensure that they can go into Sri Lanka and take water, right? Take fishes. But Sri Lankan fishermen are telling that without license only these people are coming and creating lot of trouble. And if we give licenses to them, then it would be a very big issue, right? I just want you to know, to resolve the problem, India and Sri Lanka are planning to provide license to fishermen. Fine. That much if you are aware, that's fine, guys. So guys, these are some of the important issues of the day. We will try to definitely do the topics that you're all requesting, guys. Thank you.